This problem is a little bit challenging and time-consuming. And so I wanted to make a video where I just walk through the whole process of answering all of the parts of this problem. So we noticed that this is going to be a multi-part question because of this part 1 of 4. And we're going to be asked to do several things. In fact, this problem brings together all of the things that we've learned how to do with credit cards, and even throughout this portion of the unit about loans and making payments. So the first thing we need to do, Haley has a credit card which charges 29.2% interest. We'll have to remember this for later. And we're looking at Haley's statement for September. The first thing we're asked to do is find Haley's balance and average daily balance. So I'm going to use this using the lists on the calculator. You can also do this by hand. See the other videos that I've posted about how to calculate this by hand. So on the calculator, I'm just going to clear out my current lists. Because I'm going to use these 3 lists now for this problem. Enter my dates. And then for my last quote-unquote date number, September has 30 days. One more than the number of days in the month is 31. Right, and we use that to find the number of days that our last balance lasts. And then our amounts, we start with 43.44, 121, 127, 68, 177, and 149. Quit from this screen. I'm going to clear this history so you can see what I'm entering. So in the list functions, I'm going to use the cumulative sum on list 2 to find my balances, and then I'm going to store that to list 2 because nothing weird happens there. And then I'm going to take the delta list on list 1 and store that to list 3. And now I see my balances in list 2 and the number of days each one lasts in list 3. So looking at my balances table, I see that my last balance is $49.86. That's Haley's balance at the end of September. To find the average daily balance, I want to take the sum of what I get when I multiply list 2 times list 3. And then I divide that by the number of days in September, which is 30. And again, if you're not sure what I just did on the calculator, go back and watch that other video about finding the average daily balance on the calculator. Now, once we've submitted those, we are given the next part, where we're looking at Haley's minimum payment for September. So, how much interest is Haley charged for September? The interest for September is 1 month of simple interest at our given interest rate on the average daily balance. So we take our average daily balance times our simple interest rate as a decimal, 0.292, times 1 month, that's 1/12 of a year, so I'm going to say in parentheses 1/12. For September, Haley is going to be charged $110 and to the nearest cent 93 cents. Now Haley's minimum payment is 1% of her final balance plus interest charges. How much is her minimum payment? Well, her final balance is $49.86. So 1% of that is $49.86 times 1% is 0.01 plus interest charges. So plus this interest that we just found. I'm just using the arrow keys to scroll up and grab the interest. Again, rounded to the nearest cent. Her minimum payment for September is $160.79. What is her balance after making the minimum payment? Well, her minimum payment, $110.93, the interest part, just went toward paying off the interest. The 1% of the final balance part, that went toward actually paying off the balance. So after she makes that payment, she has her final balance, $49.86, minus that 1% that she paid. After making her minimum payment, her final balance is $49.36.14. Right? So whenever you make a payment on a loan, part of it goes toward paying off interest, and part of it goes toward paying off the balance. If you're lucky, your payment is more than the interest, so some of your payment goes toward paying off the balance. So, after she makes her minimum payment, Haley still owes the credit card company $49.36.14. Okay, so after she pays that $160, she says, I'm paying an awful lot of interest. She decides she wants to pay off the credit card fully over the next 24 months. And we want to know how much she's going to need to pay in order to do that, assuming she doesn't make any more charges. So the amount that she's paying off is this $49.36.14. Okay. Well, whenever we're making regular payments on something that charges interest, we want to use that finance app. So I'm going to grab the finance app, and I'm going to think about what to enter. Well, she's making monthly payments, right? She's going to pay each month. So my P/Y and C/Y, those are both going to be 12. She wants to pay it off, future value of 0. Payment is what we want to find. How much is she paying off? Well, after she makes her September payment, she owes $49.36.14. The interest on that is this whopping 29.2%. And then she wants to pay off the card over the next 24 months. If she makes monthly payments, that means she's going to make 24 payments. Notice we were directly given how many payments she's going to make. We don't need to multiply because we were directly told the number of payments. Now to find out how much each payment is, we'll press alpha and then solve to solve for the payment. Each payment is, rounded to the nearest cent, $273.96. Okay, now this last part is asking us to examine, just how much money she actually pays here. So after making her minimum payment for September, including the monthly payment from September, how much has Haley paid? Well, she made the minimum payment in September. That was $160.79. And then she made these monthly payments of $273.96. And she did that 24 times. So she made the September minimum payment and then the monthly payments to pay it off. So she paid a total of $67.35.83. How much of that was interest? Well, we know that the amount of interest is always whatever we actually paid minus the amount that we borrowed, or whatever's actually in the account minus what was deposited. The amount of interest is just whatever extra money showed up. So in this case, we know she actually paid $67.35.83. How much did she borrow? Well, the amount that she borrowed from the credit card company is this balance stuff, right? The total amount that she owed the credit card company as of the end of September was this $49.86. So we just take this total amount she paid that we found and subtract the $49.86 that was the total amount she owed, and we find that she paid $1,749.83 in interest. Right. So this really pulls together everything that we've learned about credit cards and loans and financing, which makes this a really complicated question. But if you can comfortably answer this question, you've really mastered this part of the unit.